Clarice Starling,
I thought it was done.
I remember the moment she stepped into my psyche and she immediately became my hero. And I thought, who is this 25-year-old who went down into the darkest of hearts and the darkest of places and was able to somehow extract the light? And then she just disappeared. She disappeared for and was silent for 30 years.
Alex had a lot of success taking iconic properties, iconic characters, and finding a twist on them. And I think the key is you have to love the original thing.
We'd heard that MGM had been approached other times, but I think that Clarice may have played a secondary role to other characters in the versions that had been presented to them. And we were really not interested in doing that. We were interested in telling her story and only her story. Jenny has a unique encyclopedic knowledge of Thomas Harris and his novels and the character of Clarice specifically.
Not the face of anything, sir.
Well, this says differently. Buffalo Bill's House of Horrors. Will the survivors ever speak?
Clarice has been through an extraordinary and singular trauma. And who are you after that? So many characters in the Thomas Harris universe had been heard from, except for the woman who actually won. I want to hear Clarice's secrets.
There were no survivors.
I reached out to Thomas Harris, and when I say I reached out, I mean I email stalked him until he responded so graciously, because there were things that are simply not in the book or the movie.
You were still a trainee when you stopped Buffalo Bill from skinning and killing more women.
I wanted to know, how do you become the woman who is wired to speak monster? And how do you become the woman who is wired to fight monsters?
Excuse me, he killed them before.
Is that distinction important to you?
Because that's cool.
It is important to me that he did not skin them alive.
It started as daunting, but at some point you have to move away from that. And I wanted to do the silence justice, but I had to step away and do something that I feel is the right way to tell the story and do the character justice.
Clarice, you've been deflecting like a pro for a full year now.
This is now a year later. She's in a different place in life. She's a different person. She is not who she was in a movie.
What do you do with all your rage?
And then as slowly the design for how to shoot it and how to tell the story developed, the whole different world opened up, and that was truly exciting. The elements that we kept from Buffalo Bill's basement, we always knew they're gonna be very brief, jarring images. It's not gonna be narrative story the way it was in the movie. Early on, I decided that I do not want to see Clarice in a basement. So it would be either her memory or what we call emotional memory, things that you sort of recreate in your mind. She never saw Buffalo Bill sewing, but she walked through the basement and she saw all those things, and somehow in her mind it would have been emotional memory. One thing that came up is how to tell the story of her trauma, how to show what she's going through.
Such a sad, strange anniversary.
The device I came up with was to shoot certain scenes in two ways. Shoot it with standard footage that showcases the way that Clarice presents herself to the world, how she wants to be seen. And then to shoot certain elements with close focus lens, focusing on details that are really her emotional state of mind, her inner life. Sometimes it's the sound, sometimes it's the heartbeat, it's a close-up of her fingers plucking at the thread of the chair, to show the panic that she feels when asked a question. So when you juxtapose that with a shot of her calmly sitting in a chair pretending that she's in full control, that tells the story.
It's not really something I think about, sir.
I don't think that anybody could erase Jodie Foster, but we knew that we needed a woman who could bring her own thing.
I'm gonna tread carefully here, because I know what you write in there can make my job harder.
Jodie and Julianne are both incredible actresses. And I think what's fantastic about getting to be a part of this legacy is that it's like we're all different instruments. Like Jodie's a flute, Julianne's a violin and I'm the guitar, you know? But we're all playing the same song. We're all hitting the same notes, but it's a different instrument.
This tabloid has never been opened.
It's this beautiful song that we're all playing. Clarice is the song.
No one left it here, sir. You wanted me to see it.
Rebecca Breeds was the last woman to come in and audition.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Breeds, and I'm 5'2".
The journey to get to Rebecca was a long one. You know, there might be another actress out there that hasn't read for the role. Might be, I don't know. I feel like we really covered everybody on several continents, and I'm not joking. And that's not to say that no one else was good. No one else just felt right. Alex and Jenny were like, let's just do one last push. And then Rebecca walked in.
And she brought this light, like a light with her. The space got brighter when she entered it.
I had no idea I need a place to stay in D.C. I'll be out of your hair in a few days. I know you're up to your neck working cold cases.
And at the same time, she had steel. You felt like you could go, like Rebecca would be with you in a bar fight in a heartbeat. And Rebecca, if the guy next to her is doing push-ups, Rebecca's like, no, I'm just gonna keep doing them until you drop. That's who she is.
First principles. What is the thing in and of itself?
And at the same time, she brings a wonderful vulnerability. And vulnerability is one of those key words in casting women. Look, I'm a single mother. I don't do vulnerability because I'm busy. But I get that it makes people comfortable. Okay, Rebecca invites you in. Let's look at it that way. She invites you in and lets you see her psychic journey.
Sir, I understand it would be easier for everyone if I were to become comfortable with the designation survivor. I found most people need me to be one thing, simple thing. Helps them relax, I guess.
I got the audition just sent through from my agents and manager, and I prepped it, was in there the next day.
Sir, I'm mandated to come here and speak with you. And I mean, here I am, I'm speaking with you.
When the audition is quite a fast turnaround, you're usually fighting to find the words in your head. But there was something about this character that just sat so at home in me. She was very happy to be there.
It was not my therapist, it was quid pro quo.
I loved that she was able to capture the spirit of something that felt very familiar to us, and she exudes this incredible openness and likability that surprised me because there was something about her that felt very much like what Jodie did, and at the same time, utterly unlike what Jodie did.
When I first read the sides, it didn't say accent, it just said with a hint of Appalachian. And I was like, what's that, a hint of Appalachian? That's a mountain range. So are they talking about like she's icy and far off? She's a bit sharp-edged and distant? You know, I thought it was a character description. Then I read in the sides, it was like an Appalachian accent. I was like, oh, of course it's an accent.
Bill was gonna skin Catherine. We had 3 days.
So I hit YouTube. I hit it hard. I looked up real people from West Virginia, and there are a couple of different documentaries on the accent itself that I listened to.
I'm not really sure what there would be to speak about.
And went to the film and I listened to where Jodie pitched the accent, and I used that as inspiration.
Is that accurate?
And I think it's really nice for the audience that even though they're seeing a different version of Clarice visually, they kind of hear her, and there's a lovely sense of familiarity to that. Because the accent isn't just a thing that you put on, it informs a context, a history, a personality even, you know, so it really filled out the character. It's how I found the character really. I was like, oh, Clarice.
I wanted to be present for the families of the victims.
It was a long audition. It was 4 hours. We explored this scene from top to bottom. Must have done it 100 times, and it's a testament to how well it's written, because every single time we were finding something new. You know, we never got to the bottom of it. There wasn't a limit to the therapist scene. There were so many ways that we could do this, and so much nuance, and so many tweaks that you can do because of her behavioral science. She's not only reading it on him, but she knows what he's reading on her. So it's this perfect intellectual jewel.
I'll ask you again, Clarice. What do you do with all your rage?
Doctor, I'm sorry.
Excuse me, this is a private session.
Doctor, I have orders to get her to Washington.
The next day I got a very good phone call from Alex and Jenny that started with, "Hello, Clarice." That's how they told me I got the role. I just ran in circles. I was on the corner of a highway, the PCH down in Malibu. People must have been like, what is this girl doing? Who's this crazy person? Well, I'll tell you who she is. She's Clarice Starling.
Why me, sir?
You don't get to ask why, Starling. Let's go pack a bag. You'll be gone a while.
It was amazing. I'll never forget that moment in all my life. So it was a very fast and furious, precious, amazing experience that, you know, I'm still kind of pinching myself that I'm here.